Greetings, Guzzlers. Today we're going Chinese, and what we're going to make first is a classic Chinese sort of starter type thing, if you like, appetiser. We're going to make some sesame prawn toasts. Now, these are sort of traditional. Okay, they're traditional in Chinese restaurants, but you did get shrimp toast or prawn toast in China. So that's what we're going to make, and then if you follow on later you might see some other Chinese dishes. So for that, first off you're going to need some raw peeled deveined prawns, and I've got about 250 grams in the blender. You're now going to want to add to that a half teaspoon of salt, tablespoon of corn flour, a teaspoon of sesame oil, so in that goes, 1 egg white, and a little bit, I'll do that end, be smothered, a little bit of white finely ground pepper. What we're now going to do is we're now just going to blend that into a paste. Now the only other thing you're going to want, well I say the only other thing, the next thing you're going to want is some slices of bread, and I've got myself some squares of bread all trimmed up, crusts off, ready to smother in this. So there you go, nice paste. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a slice of the bread. I've got about 7 slices here, okay, and what we're going to do is we're just going to coat one surface in a nice thickish layer. Just a bit of the edge there, you don't want to do that. Up to you how thick you want to do it, okay. There's only the 2 of us eating tonight, so I might make it a bit thicker. I might not want all this bread. Now you could, I mean normally when you get these in the old restaurant they're in triangles, and you could have cut these into triangles, or you can do like I'm doing. We'll cut them after we cook them. Now sesame seeds, which is how they normally are, so sort of a later, almost sort of I suppose a bit of westernised version of prawn toasts. Okay, so we're going to add some. You're going to then want a wok. Now I'm not going to cook these in a wok simply because of the amount of oil I need, so I'm going to do it in my bigger pan, okay, nice flat base, and I'm going to get some oil on in a minute, but I'm going to get these all coated first. So that's got that all spread over 7 slices, okay, and what I'm going to do is now I've got a plate with some sesame seeds on, and I'm just going to flip that over, lightly press it down, and then lift it up, and there we have our first coated toast. So I'm just going to go now and coat all of these, and then when we've got a bit more room we'll put the oil on. So got my oil in here, got it on about medium heat, and we want it up to about 180. Okay, now if you've got wooden chopsticks, which I haven't really, all sort of plastic, you can dunk one of them into the oil, and when it starts almost like it's bubbling, fizzing around the end, that is apparently the way you tell how you know that your oil is hot enough in your wok. Unless you want it smoking hot, in which case when it smokes it's hot enough. So when I get this up to about 180, what I'm then going to do is fry these off, probably 2 at a time, because obviously it reduces the heat. We don't want to reduce the heat, do we? And we will be cooking it seed side down to begin with, okay, and then we'll be flipping them, draining them, and I've prepared behind me, I've got a wire rack, and I've put quite a few layers of kitchen towel on there to absorb the oil. So We're not quite at the temperature yet, it's getting there. Well actually, see what I say now, we're 170. So I'm just going to crack that down a bit, because we're just about there. So like I said, what we're going to do is we take our prawn toast and we dunk it into the oil, which I'm not sure that's quite hot enough yet. Actually, I can probably get 3 in there. So we're now just going to let that cook until that side's gone a nice golden, and then we'll flip it over and we'll do the same on the other side. So here we go, here's the last one. So I'm just going to put it in a little strainer, just get rid of any excess oil, and then place it over there to soak up. Now, I'm not going to get rid of the oil because I'm going to be wanting that for another dish. Okay, them silicone grips getting red hot again. Apparently, you're not meant to put them on while you're using a pan. You put them on when you want to move the pan. Well, okay, fair enough. On the hob, that's possible. But apparently, you can't put them in the oven either because they'll melt in the oven or burn. So you put your pan in the oven, and when you want to take it out, apparently called Amazon, you then slip these on. So you've got to put your hands in a red hot oven, try and fit these onto the handles without touching the pan, to be able to lift it out without burning yourself. Don't think they fit the purpose. Anyway, so I've got a couple here that have drained for a little while. So I'm just going to take my knife and I'm going to slice it into a triangle. Okay, and then, although it's probably going to be a bit hot, let's have a little taster. Nice and crunchy on the outside. Bit of chewiness from the inside. It's a sort of sweetish taste. I can't quite work out where it's come from. But that then is your sesame prawn toast. Essentially a British Chinese invention, I think. Enjoy.